Video, we're going to look at how we can use direct links in the URL tool in the DLE to link content from Panopto into our sections on our DLE page. So you can see here I'm on my Teaching from Distance Panopto page, and this course is provisioned, so I've got a folder set up on the Panopto cloud, and in that folder I've got 3 recorded lectures. So I've got a lecture from Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. And then obviously in my central page here you can see that I've got a section that relates to each one of those. Now obviously with the naming convention I've used, it's quite clear that this lecture relates to this section, but there is a way that we can make this a little bit kind of more natural and a bit tidier for our students to navigate to, and that is using the URL tool that is available in our add activities or resources options when we turn editing on. So you can see if we look at our Wednesday lecture, along with the PowerPoint and some additional reading resources that I've added to the course, I've created a URL, and that links direct to the video on Panopto. So you can see that it's loading into that Panopto recorder. And this is the same video that is accessible from that Wednesday lecture link in the block, but it's just that nicer kind of more natural flow to where the content is appearing. And especially in a time where we're not doing face-to-face teaching, that kind of central plane on the course is where your students are going to be looking for content and resources. So how do we add a URL into the DLE? It's quite simple. We need to turn our editing on. So we're going to demo it for the Thursday lecture. And if we turn our editing on and load into the section where we want to add it, so for this example we're going to do it in our Thursday section. If I open that up, we can see that I've got an add an activity or resource option, and then if I scroll down to the bottom of the resources, there's the option to add a URL. And here we click add, and it takes us into it, so we can name it. So we're going to call it Thursday's lecture recording. And then if we want to add a description we can, but what we need to do is add the external URL. So we can find that in a variety of ways. We can come to our folder on Panopto, we can click on share, and then we can take this link here, highlight it, copy it, and add that into this. But we can also load the video into the player, and then we can take this link page. So let's make sure we've got the Thursday lecture, click on share, copy, highlight and copy that link, and then back on the editing URL page, copy that into there. And then we've got a few options here, so we can make sure that it opens in a new window. So you can have it open in the window that you're on, or it to automatically choose. So I think the automatic in this instance is a new window as well, and I think that is opening it in a new window is a nicer tool, because you're not losing that place where you were on the original DLE page. It's opening it separately, and then when they're done with that content they close it and they're returned back to the DLE page. They're not having to kind of find their way back to the course. URL variables and common module settings won't apply to this. You can restrict access, so you could pre-record it and then restrict access this way via the date restriction or group restriction, anything like that. And what you can do with this that you can't do via the block is you can also track the completion. So you can add a completion. Students can manually mark this activity as complete, or show activity as complete when conditions are met. And then the required view essentially is that they've clicked on that link and they've been taken to the video. So you've got some idea of what students are engaging with the video on the Moodle side rather than having to go and look at the stats on the Panopto side. But for this instance we're going to have this turned off, and we're going to save and return to course. And you'll be able to see now that when we go back in that Thursday section, there is now an active link to that video. And then I can drag it so I can match the order above. So if I wanted it to appear, let the page load, hover over the 4-pointed arrow and drag it up, and then it's there ready to be viewed by our students. And we turn editing off and it's all done.